get the chocolates today. They, as you say, best attacking against best defence. They've got too much firepower up forward. But the thing where will be really interesting will be the midfield battle. Ryan Mullet versus players like Nick Edge, and especially down back, how Vermont going to sort of nullify the influences of the Brent English types and things like that. But you can't go past Vermont in this one.
Yeah, look, I think that's going to be a very close game. The big thing for me in this game is home ground advantage, but I also think that Vermont will be too quick over all the ground for Norwood. Norwood being a bigger lumber. I just think they'll be too quick and too good, and playing at home, I'll go for Vermont.
Yeah, I think Vermont will probably get the game on their terms first. A fast-flowing, as you said, quite a fast-paced game, Vermont for mine as well. Good on you, gents. All games done and dusted, and a thorough in-depth analysis as always. The Platters are out here at Ferntree Gully Football Club. The reserves game is starting to wrap up. 41 points is the lead to Ferntree Gully. We're getting set for a huge senior game between Ferntree Gully and Silvan. That will decide third spot for the time being, but possibly at the end of the home and away season. We're going to take our final break here on EFL Game Day before we broadcast this one. It is all thanks to the EFL mobile web app. Go to m.efl.org.au in your mobile device browser to get exclusive access to EFL news and information. That's all coming up right after the break here on EFL Game Day.
Hello, this is Kevin Morrish. If you're free on Tuesday nights between 8 and 11, I'd love you to join me for Moonlight Serenade. We could enjoy together 3 hours of tuneful music of many different sorts. I'll play some ease of stage and screen. Why not tune in for Moonlight Serenade here on Radio Eastern 98.1 every Tuesday from 8 to 11 p.m.
Now, do you have sudden fever, aching body, sore throat, chills, nausea, headache, dizziness? It sounds like you need medical assistance urgently. It's difficult getting an immediate appointment with your GP when you need care fast. So come to Akira Urgent Care, where you don't need an appointment and you won't have to wait. They are Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care, your health, your destiny.
20% makes a lot of difference. Imagine your team kicking 20% less goals and being 20% behind on the scoreboard. Actually, let's not. Now, imagine using a Breeze Tag account on Eastlink and getting a 20% discount on all weekend car trips. No need to imagine, it's for real. Open your account online at eastlink.com.au and get 20% off car trips all weekend, every weekend on Eastlink. Now, let's give my mate Ross 20% more stick for being 4 goals behind. Hey, Roscoe! Eastlink, it's time better spent, like at the footy.
Program sponsor.
Every club expects high performance from their team. At Ferntree Gully Holden, you'll find the latest high-performance vehicles in the HSV range, and the team will give you the best possible deal. So if you're looking for a high-performance HSV, look no further than Ferntree Gully Holden, Burwood Highway, or visit www.ftgmotor.com.au. Ferntree Gully Holden, your community dealer. LMCT 443, a proud supporter of the Eastern Football League and Radio Eastern.
20% makes a lot of difference. Imagine your team kicking 20% less goals and being 20% behind on the scoreboard. Actually, let's not. Now, imagine using a Breeze Tag account on Eastlink and getting a 20% discount on all weekend car trips. No need to imagine, it's for real. Open your account online at eastlink.com.au and get 20% off car trips all weekend, every weekend on Eastlink. Now, let's give my mate Ross 20% more stick for being 4 goals behind. Hey, Roscoe! Eastlink, it's time better spent, like at the footy.
Program sponsor. In desperate need of some windows but your budget's too tight? Never fear, because the team at T&B Window Warehouse has the right solution for you. We have surplus windows to suit the needs of any budget. We're located at 120 to 124 Bayfield Road East, Bayswater North. Give us a call, 8727-7506. That's 8727-7506. T&B Window Warehouse. Don't forget the name. Part of the EAL and AW Transport Group. Number 1 in window transport. Program sponsor.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Welcome out to Ferntree Gully Reserve for the match of the round. Indeed, Division 4 day today. It's third versus fourth, and as we've already heard in the pre-match by the boys, what an important game it is today. Effectively, it's third spot up for grabs. It creates a double chance, so that it is a big clash we're expected out here today. The sun is shining. We've got the best spot it's nearly toppled East Doncaster for the best spot in the Eastern Football League, because we're right smack bang on the wing. Two sides which we don't really get to see too much of, or we haven't over the last couple of years since Ferntree Gully were right up there playing in the finals. But Silvan is a side that we haven't had to have too much of a look at. I've never personally seen them before. I know that my co-commentator today, Brad Henderson, he hasn't really got to have a look at them yet so far since they've joined the Eastern Football League, so we are pumped to see what these two sides can deliver, because to date they are having very good seasons and definitely look finals bound. Let's introduce the man that I just spoke to. We haven't heard from him for a couple of weeks now, but it's great to have him back in the co-commentator's chair. Brad Henderson. G'day, Brad.
Thanks very much, Ben. Yeah, thanks very much, Ben. Thanks for that as well. Great to be back. And yeah, first time I've seen Ferntree Gully probably for about 12 months. First time I've ever seen the Silvan Football Club compete. But having said that, I think for anyone who would have ventured out to see Silvan this year, there are still a number of familiar faces out there. Lots of guys who have played at a high level, especially in the Eastern Football League. And I am really looking forward to this game. I think that the only teams that can provide a threat to the Basin or South Belgrade come finals time this year is a team who obviously they need to finish third or fourth, but it needs to be a team who's in red hot form at the right end of the season. Ferntree Gully are just working into some nice form. Their last month or so has been a lot more impressive after a bit of a slow start to the year. Silvan also, they've been pretty steady throughout the year, and you know, this should be a great contest under sunny skies. Great weather for football today, Ben.
We heard Bernie Ryan on pre-match, and he talked about how he just asked his group to play as a one whole unit week in, week out. They're a relatively young side. He doesn't like superstars. He doesn't like all the airy-fairy stuff. He just wants his side to be workmanlike, and he seems to have got that sort of working for them now. And since probably, I don't know, round 5 or 6, they've been a really impressive side, Ferntree Gully. So on their home patch today, there's a big crowd out here. You can virtually you can't get a car park anywhere unless you want to put your car behind the goals and watch it get smacked all afternoon. But get down here to Ferntree Gully Reserve, because it's a great part of Melbourne and it's a great football club, and two great sides we're going to see out here who virtually position themselves far out east. They're probably the eastest sides we've got virtually in the EFL. So really looking forward to it. I can't keep saying it, can I, Ray? I'm going to introduce you, mate, because we heard you in pre-match. It's your first go on the special comments today. Really looking forward to having you with us today.
Oh, thanks, Ben, and it's a pleasure to be here. Look, on the game itself, it's going to be a great contest. As you said, there's a final spot up for grabs here. I have seen Silvan in their very first game in the EFL, round 1 last year, but they're a different side now, of course, from what they were then. But I like the way that they've gone about their business in the last few weeks, earlier on in the season, not the last few weeks. Ferntree Gully, for mine, have got a lot more momentum coming into this game with 4 good wins, but Silvan, as I say, they've got a lot to play for, and they might do the goods today.
Are there any players that stand out to you on both lists that really need to stand up today, and if they have good games, that they'll go a long way in helping their side to victory?
Well, look, obviously Ash Froud, the Toohey boys, we can go right down the list. Chris Goodlett, their coach, can be a very good player as well. And we look across to Ferntree Gully. I think the key to Ferntree Gully today will be Ryan Pearce. I think that if he can fire around those goals, he's going to have to be one that Silvan's going to have to look out for.
Well, it's good conditions for a forward today. We've seen some pretty rough stuff over the last couple of weeks. Mother Nature hasn't been too kind, but this ground has held up really well. It may look quite dry out there, but dry's better than wet, and we're looking forward to some good football today. Let's introduce the guys we're going to have down boundary side for the afternoon, brought to you by Akira Urgent Care, and we're going to talk to Daniel Sensic first, who was with us on pre-match. How are you today, Dan? What's it like down there?
Oh, it's really sunny conditions down here, and the ground's in fantastic conditions. A bit of a few leaves around, so a bit of a wash up. Few leaves around, a bit of a wash up from the autumn crisp weather. But other than that, we're in for a fantastic game today, and I'm going for the Ferntree Gully Eagles, as I introduced Braden Ingram.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, certainly looking forward to today. As you said, beautiful weather down here. The Ferntree Gully Reserve ground, quite big on the wing, so we should see a fair bit of open space and some open play. Certainly looking forward to that. I'm going to go for Silvan today. I saw them a couple of weeks ago, and I thought they were really... I saw them against the Basin, and the Basin blew them out of the water in the end, but I was intrigued by how they played and just how the Basin towed up pretty much Ash Froud. They put Matthew Killinan on him and he tore him to shreds. So today, I think Ash Froud's going to be the key to Silvan. I think they can get up, but it's going to be a very close contest.
Thank you very much to the guys down boundary side. First job of the afternoon, Daniel Sensick, is to find out who wears number 47 for the Ferntree Gully Eagles. Let's introduce our stats man, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats. And he joins us after a couple of weeks off, but it's always great to have him back with us here in the team. Grant Campbell, g'day mate.
Good to be back, BWS, and it's nice that Ferntree Gully have even named an end after me. Your down to the right, see the Campbell end.
Oh my God.
Very nice of them.
Yeah.
I was expecting the BWS down the other one. Not sure why that didn't happen.
Well, I know when you're younger, you like to nick a street sign here and there when you can. So I'll see if you put that one in the back of your car before you leave today, mate.
There was a BWS one down there, Grant, but Ben got us to get rid of that before the BWS got here today.
Fair enough. And just looking at some of the key stats, Ferntree Gully's home form haven't been a strength for them this season. They've only won 2 from 5 at home. Silvan's away form has been excellent. They've won 4 from 5, and their points differential away from home's plus 146. A stat that suggests it'll be a close game, which we're hoping for. Ferntree Gully have won 24 quarters this season, Silvan 23.
Ooh, okay, so which way are you leaning towards in this match this afternoon? You put it all down on paper. You're generally pretty good too with how you work it out, and you tip more or less spot on most of the time. Which way is it going to go today with a bit of extra pressure?
Well, if you look on the internet, in the tipping comp, my tips are usually pretty rubbish, but I'll go for Ferntree Gully.
You'll go for Ferntree Gully this afternoon. And Ray Baird, we got your tip earlier on in pre-match, but of course sometimes people just tune in for the start of the match and want to hear who you're picking this afternoon, sitting in the special comments chair.
Yeah, no, look, I'm going to go for Ferntree Gully. They're coming into this game with a bit of momentum, with 4 wins, but Kilsyth, to me, they haven't been impressive over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, Brad Henderson, who's your selection for the game this afternoon?
Going for Ferntree Gully today, I think at home, not much to separate these sides except they're in the better form, and the home ground advantage will stand them in good stead.
I certainly ummed and ahed over this game, and it's always a bit of an easy way out when you say, I'm going to go with the home ground advantage, and that's pretty much the way that I went with this today. But then you get the stats off Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap, and then he says the Ferntree Gully aren't too crash hot at home this year. But then that's obviously something that no doubt Bernie Ryan will have addressed. It's the biggest game for the year for them today. Today's the day that they have to stand up. They have to do it in front of their home crowd, and they have to really make a stand. Silvan, on the other hand, well, their away record is fantastic. So we're up for a really good contest, but I think Ferntree Gully can do it just. We picked this game because we knew it was going to be a close one, so expect it to go right down to the wire, but I'm going for the Eagles this afternoon. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent for the second time already today, to Daniel Sensick.
It's Braden down here, BWS, and just for you, Jared Blatantic is number 47, up from the 19s. It's his 4th game in the senior side.
Thank you very much. I thought Braden was looking after Silvan this afternoon. It's already a war down boundary side between the microphone. They probably want one each down there, those two. But thank you very much, boys down there. It's taking a little while to get this game underway, but well, if Silvan or Ferntree Gully lose today, Brad Henderson, what does that mean for them? Obviously, we talk about the game being so big, and it will maybe perhaps create the second chance come finals time. But not all's lost if either side just get done today.
No, it's not. I mean, I think both of these sides are going to be in the top 5. And
is that locked away?
Well, it's not. Obviously, it's not 100% certain at this stage. But I can't see either of these two sides missing at the expense of, say, a team. Well, who else is there? Nunawading, Forest Hill, Eastern Lions. Yeah, no, I think both of these sides will make the top 5. That's my prediction at this stage. But you got to beat these teams around you on the ladder, and it's not so much about finishing third, getting that double chance against South, but most likely to play South Belgrade first week of the finals. It's more just having good form this time of the year, like I said, and also knowing you can beat the teams around you, winning forms. What both of these sides are searching for.
Well, you've got Nuttawading Peppering just around the pack, and they come up against Park Orchards today, so that's going to be an absolutely massive one. Canterbury and the Eastern Lions too, a pretty good game too, because the Eastern Lions, their season's still alive. The guys down boundary side, can you just turn your mic down or just shut up down there, because we can hear everything you're saying. But Brad Henderson's going to take us away for the start of the game. It's Division 4 match of the round. Ferntree Gully Eagles taking on Silvan. Take it away, Brad.
Thanks very much, BWS. It is Division 4 action here at Ferntree Gully Reserve as the match gets underway. Ferntree Gully against Silvan, and immediately we've got a secondary ball up in the centre. Umpire tosses it up. Tap was one down, that time by Bissell's, the veteran for Silvan, who we heard about pre-game. A lot of players surrounding the football. And immediately we'll have another ball up, so ball hasn't left the centre area yet. First quarter underway by about a minute. Bissell's again wins the ruck hit out this time, competing against Atkinson in the ruck today. Little handball came away from Noy, got it to Strawhair. Strawhair's kick, hugging the boundary. Trigwell leads the race to the ball and escorts the ball over the boundary line. And speaking of which, we cross boundary side with Braden Ingram.
Thank you, Brad. Just kicking to the left of the radio dial are Ferntree Gully, and they've got a 1 to 2 goal breeze here. So just a slight one, but it could help them early on.
As the ball's thrown in, the scoreboard still showing the score from the reserves game earlier. As quick kick came out, was into the path there of Henry, but carried over his head, out of bounds on the full. Free kick goes to Silvan. Short pass on to Sean Toohey. Sean Toohey, a veteran, number of years at the Lilydale Football Club, premiership player there. And coming to Silvan last season.
It's obviously, to me, Brad, that Silvan don't want to bomb the ball down there because Ferntree Gully's dropped everybody back there into the back line.
Umpire tosses the ball up, although it's very close to the boundary line at this stage. Caligueri applied a strong tackle. Rawlings on that occasion missed the attempted tackle on Cullen. Mark Cullen burst clear, boots to the square, but it's been well marked back there by Costa. And Costa switches play to the broadcast side of the ground where he finds Ricky Aitken. Aitken in the back pocket. Banks the kick to half-back. Big pack of players camped under it. Toohey provided the fist. Ball spilled cleared now. Noy got hands to it, so too did Litchfield. Spills clear once again. Now it's Rowe who shares it with Cullen. Mark Cullen in some pretty close quarters, feeds out a handball. High kick by Noy, hugging the boundary. And will it stay in play? Just will be a boundary throw in, and it's about 40 metres out from the goals for the Silvan Football Club.
Both teams are just feeling each other out at the moment. There's nothing really set up that we can talk about.
The throw-in wasn't too crash up by the umpire. He might actually recall this one. No, the umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to go the way of Silvan. So Cullen got short options on, but as Ray's already mentioned, players dropping back for Ferntree Gully, and a mark has been taken back there by Cox. So the ball's going to be switched into the middle, well, the back pocket. Goes the way of Muscat. It's going to go further afield. It's okay, Cox over the top. They're running the ball all right on the outer side of the ground, Ferntree Gully. That's quick movement. They've got players out there too, just couldn't quite pick that up. Kick up towards a half-forward line, and a nice chop-off mark has been taken by Bissell. So he's making some ground to kick into the top of the goal square. A bit of a spoil on here. Callanan might get foot to ball and kick it. Oh, it went right across the face of goal, going towards the boundary line and out of bounds. So left forward pocket.
That was a missed kick by Bissell's end. It nearly caused a goal turnover there to Ferntree Gully.
You know, Ray, we said there's not much to talk about so far. One thing worth mentioning, though, Mark Cullen already getting his hands on the footy a lot. He's had about 4 possessions already.
Yeah, he's been very good around the stoppages, yeah.
Ball's about 45 metres out from goal. Been thrown in, and now we'll have a ball up. Any stats that matter thanks to Chew Stap early in the piece, Grant Campbell?
Not that much, but hit outs of 5-2 in favour of Silvan.
Thank you very much, Soupy. Yeah, ball flicked towards the boundary line and out of bounds it goes once again.
Yeah, Bissell's doing a good job in the ruck in the early stages, and as Soupy mentioned, getting his hands on the footy on most occasions.
Well, once again, Bissell's got the knockdown. That was good play. The ball scoops out towards the Litchfield direction. He was quickly put under pressure. The handball went awry, was intended for Pereira. Good pressure by the Ferntree Gully forwards just to keep it in there. It's about 65 metres out from goal. The umpire was going to let it go, but he decided to come in and bounce it anyway. So about 65, 70 metres out from the Ferntree Gully goals. Neither side's yet to score. We've gone 5 minutes here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Quickly picked up there by Hendry, scooped it out. That was okay. Giannopoulos just banged it on his boot, kicked it to the hot spot. Over the top there was Hagar. As he got running support nearly in the back, could have been paid there. Once again, the umpire letting it go. We'll have another bounce about 35 metres out from the Ferntree Gully goals. You sense that they're peppering. High once again, throws it. Bissell's got the knockdown. You're right, Brad. He absolutely is dominating early in the piece. Went the wrong way though. About 25 metres out now, Ray.
Yeah, look, with that ball there right in the goal square for Ferntree Gully, you look back down the field and there is a solid wall of Ferntree Gully players there waiting for that ball to come out.
The ball went straight down and Newell overran it. 5 players around it once again, nobody giving an inch. Pressure's on here. 6 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Neither side scored. Match of the day, Ferntree Gully versus Silvan. Who's going to take third spot come 6 o'clock this afternoon? It's deep in the Ferntree Gully forward line. And once again, no, the umpire letting it go. That was okay play. Out it comes to Tui. That was Sean. Moved the ball across to the outer side. Kick up towards the wing position over the top of the head of Bissell's. I think he's out there. I'm getting Bissell's and Strawhair a bit mixed up here early in the piece. Ball's on the outer side of the ground. Brad Henderson with the binoculars, take it away.
Will do, Benny. Bissell's the big ruckman.
Early.
There's the short pass. Ball booted forward, but nicely worked back there. Leary for Ferntree Gully with the big fist. Probably should have marked it. Froud takes possession now, shovels it out to Muscat, who I called Costa before. Phil Muscat. Tui, little quick kick, was clever. Sean Tui got it on. Little handball fed out to Cullen. Mark Cullen around the corner, and he made that look easy. Mark Cullen kicks the first of the game for Silvan.
Boundary.
And it is a 6-point lead for the Cats. 1 straight goal on the board for them. Ferntree Gully yet to score on the, remind me, BWS.
On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Thanks, BWS. Starting on the interchange for Ferntree Gully, Lovett, Lawson, Stapleton and Blatantic. And for Silvan, Dan?
Yeah, for Silvan starting on the interchange, we've got Andrew, Danny, Morgan and Alan.
The reason for that goal, boys, was that all the Ferntree Gully defenders went to the contest, whereas Cullen just hung out by himself and the ball was dished out to him, and of course a snap goal.
So the first goal goes the way of the Silvan Football Club. It was good movement from back to the forward. Umpire's going to bounce it again, middle of the ground. He's actually paid a free kick. Did anyone see what that was for?
Pushing it back, I think.
So it'll be Silvan. Good pass there by Ennis. Went up towards Goodlett, sold the dummy, then goes inside 50 on the left foot. Kick up towards the Litchfield direction. He didn't have front spot. That was okay. Ferntree Gully look like they're going to clear this one if the handballs can link up. Cullen's going to come in from the outside, but it was well picked up there by Hammond. He got the handball back. They're going backwards to go forwards, but it was a smart bit of play. A floating, finger-breaking punt kick went up towards the wing position. No one could quite get a read on it. Rushed over the boundary line and out of bounds by Trent Harrott right in front of us here on the broadcast side. 8.5 minutes gone. First term, it's only 1 goal to Silvan. Ferntree Gully yet to score. High throws it in. Double fisted by Bissell's over the back. Wasn't so successful because Lockhard's on the end of it. Got the movement going to Aiken in the middle of the ground. That was good play up towards the Hager direction over the top of his head. Silvan are going to clear it here. Newell on the left boot. Kicks it up towards the half-back line. It creates a bit of a foot race. That's okay out there because Cameron Noy made a little bit of space. He used to work for me at Coles down in Lilydale. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Daniel Tui leads out the charge. Got a little bit of a nudge, but the umpire go. Once again, they're going to spread Ferntree Gully here. They've got players running wide, but they're going back the same way. The kick wasn't too crash hot. It goes right near the boundary line and out of bounds it goes now, far side of the ground. 6 points the difference on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Ray.
Yeah, look, every time it goes into the Silvan forward line, there seems to be more than enough Ferntree Gully players there. I don't know where the Silvan forwards are actually getting to.
So Bissell's competing against Atkinson. It was a very shallow boundary throw-in. Fell well short of the 2 competing ruckmen. Long kick forward for the Eagles. Hager was in the box seat but had it fisted away from him. Goes in hard again now. Paul Hager tries to gather it in. Had plenty of opposition from the Silvan defence. Sean Tui links up with Kazapi. Little handball chopped off or partly blocked on that occasion. Pereira tries to hunt down the footy. Tui and Pereira gang tackle the Ferntree Gully player on that occasion and force a ball up That was Rawlings, I think, for the Eagles. Umpire tosses it up. This time Atkinson wins the contest. Noy was involved again. Little handball to Shaw, to Pereira. Low kick to Kazapi, under pressure. Good opposition there provided by Leary. Little handball was shot out. Chance here for Silvan to send the ball forward, and it has gone through for a goal. Goal kick for the Cats. That's their second on the board, and Silvan lead by 2 goals. 12 points the margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, look, I think what happened, Ferntree Gully were caught out then because the ball came down so quick. A few of the Ferntree Gully defenders overrun the ball, and Silvan were able to lot their second goal on the board. Did you see who kicked it?
Obviously not, Brad.
No, I saw it kicked. I'll let you know in a minute. I'll find out.
Well, the boundary riders should be right onto that job. All you got to do is turn around and ask a fan and let us know, because it was a bit of a skew-F kick that did a bit of a mungle break, a bit of an off-cutter, and went through the goal. So in the middle of the ground, the ball goes again. Who's going to get the clearance? It went to Ferntree Gully that time. Soupy, as the ball goes out towards the Hammond direction. Overran the ball, charging in really hard there was Litchfield. That was good play. Picked it up, went deep into the forward pocket. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Fisted away by hand. That was okay. The ball spills out, goes in towards the direction of Top. He had front spot over the back of the pack. He goes now. Got the handball to Giannopoulos. Goes inboard. They just got to get boot to ball. Ferntree Gully as they go up towards the half forward line. No one going back with the ball. Seems to be carrying that little extra few metres at the back of the pack. Cornish put his teammate under a lot of pressure, but they've got the numbers there. Silvan going in there again was Bonanno. He put a Shepherd on. They're mucking around with a good pressure in there by that time Caligari to keep the ball alive for Ferntree Gully, but the Cats still have the numbers. They kick it up towards the middle of the ground, overrunning the ball. That time was Kane Shaw. Good play there by Atkinson just to stand tall and get the handball out. Giannopoulos look for the field. Atkinson charged through on the left boot, kicks it deep inside forward 50, and Callanan in the front spot. That's where you've got to be. Got down low and took a good mark, and he'll be looking to put the first on the board for the Eagles.
Yeah, look, the result of this kick has been just the pressure that the Ferntree Gully small men kept in there. The forwards, they kept forward pressure on, and the ball was kicked out of the pack, and luckily Ferntree Gully marked.
Dan Tui kicked the last goal for Silvan. Now it's Jack Callanan's turn to come in from 30 metres. Jeez, he kicked it hard and he kicked it left, and the umpire says 1 behind is the result. So a bit of a disappointing shot on goal. That point there by Jack Callanan takes Ferntree Gully to 1 behind, but they're still trailing on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Silvan 2 straight.
Bernie Ryan wouldn't be happy with that, because, you know, that's one time that they have got it down there and had a shot at goals, and you can't afford to miss those, particularly early in the game.
So Cornish to bring the ball back in for Silvan. Very short pass and very dangerous. Goodlet tries to redeem the situation. Fed it out to Tui. Onto Pereira. Kazapi it was. The ball spills loose. Little handball was shot out. Silvan building nicely through the middle. Goodlet tries to get onto that left foot. In the end, he had to give off the handball to Strawhair. Little give to Cullen. Neat pass by Cullen to Ashfroud. And Froud will unload from a long way out, takes the tackler on, lines up the goals now, fires at the goals. Has he made the distance?
What a goal.
Yes, he has. Yeah. Great goal by Ash Froud. The third on the board, I almost said third goal for Vermont with Froud kicking the goal. It is, of course, for Silvan, and it is a 17-point lead now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard for Silvan. Just crossing boundary side for a moment. Was that just to confirm that that it was Dan Tui?
It was Dan Tui.
Yeah. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, Bradley. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Well, while Silvan are winning the hit-out 13-5, the clearances are 6 apiece, so perhaps Silvan's on ballers need to rove a bit better.
You said it was almost Vermont, and it was Mark Cullen actually got the ball to Froud too, so it was Vermont.
Right. This time it was Rowe going up against Atkinson in the middle. They tried to get a toe poke on the ball. That was good play by Rowe to get over to it and kick it just inside forward. 50 charging out was Froud. He overran the pill. That was okay by Lovett. Got caught in a tackle though, pushed it towards the boundary line. The safety of it too, right near that Bendigo Bank scoreboard that shows a 3-goal straight Silvan. Ferntree Gully at 1 behind.
Just for the benefit of the crowd today and for us as well, one of the great matchups to watch will be Jack Callanan against Rhett Newell. That's in the Ferntree Gully forward line, one worth watching.
The ball's very close to the boundary line on the outer side, kick towards the top of the square. It might even have gone too far. It did. Good pressure there by Ferntree Gully. Forced the out of bounds on the full. The Eagles, they'll be looking to rebound from the back pocket.
the Silvan forwards, they're starting to work a lot harder and keeping the ball in there a lot better than what they were for the first 5 or 10 minutes of their game.
Just waiting for some options to present themselves. They're risking it with these kicks in the defensive 50, both sides. But now it'll be the Eagles out towards the wing position. It becomes a foot race. Haynes down there, doubled back. That was good play. Short passes on into the middle of the ground. Who's going to be up to the challenge? Harrop, he got spoiled. That was okay. Shaw now for Silvan. Kick was a bit of a grubber. Went up towards the half-forward line. Chopped off. The Eagles, they're going to have the numbers. Giannopoulos picks it up right near. Straight over the boundary line. He styles it well, though, didn't he? Dean O'Leary. So we'll have a boundary throw-in right in front of the members' wing here. Home fans trying to get their side up. Giannopoulos took the spoils really well there from the stoppage, kicked it up towards a half-forward line, looking for Pierce. He couldn't quite trap it at the fall. The ball, that was good play there by Pereira, handballed it over the top. It went to his teammate too, but it was Cameron Noy. Had the time to steady. So Silvan kick up towards a half-forward line. It looks a little bit slippery underfoot out there today. A few players falling over. Kick to kick at the moment, half back to half forward. Ball goes up towards the Pierce direction. One bite, couldn't quite hold the second one over the boundary line and out of bounds. Far side of the ground, 17 points the difference. We've gone 16 and a half minutes first term.
Ray, you got to wonder sometimes, why does any player like Trigwell did then kick while they're walking backwards and they're off balance? And they've taken a mark, and he tried to quickly move it on, but he got to balance up in that situation as Ferntree Gully send the ball forward. Nice kick to the centre half forward position. The mark was held there by Hager. Had his kick smothered. Chance here for Callanan. Dishes off the handball to Hager. Leading goal kicker this year for the Eagles. Goodlett takes possession. Was all wrapped up. Coughed it up now. Cornish tries to take possession. Does so. Fed it out to Shaw. Silvan. They've done this well from half back. Chain of handballs. And it served them very well in this first quarter as Cullen got it from Bonanno. Cullen's kicked to Strawhair through the middle of the ground. They just seem to find loose players. Trigwell put himself under pressure this time. Froud was the target. Tries to reel the foot in while he's on hands and knees. Can't do so. And a lot of players there on to force a ball up. And it's like there's two separate scuffles going on. One a little more serious than the other behind the play. And the umpire to throw it up does so now. Cullen feeds the handball back. Got it to Noy. Noy's little kick was clever. Landed in the arms there of Strawhair. And Ben Strawhair will go back and line up for his first goal of the day.
And Mark Cullen's experience, it's certainly showing. Every time he gets the ball, he just doesn't blaze away. He stops, he has a look at what his options are, and he hits his target. It's just the experience of him.
Chance here for Silvan.
Beautiful.
Thumping kick. It was a beautiful kick straight through the middle.
Boundary.
And that is 4 goals on the board now for the Cats on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Silvan Gully on 1 behind.
Yeah, as I said, look, that goal came about because of Mark Cullen. As I said, his experiences around the clearances. He gets the ball, he just doesn't bomb away. He looks for a target and his options, and he hits that target and he sets them up for that goal.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Braden Ingram.
Thanks, BWS. Hayden Lovett, number 2 for Ferntree Gully. Just a bit sore after that last contest. Been in the hands of the trainers, limping about, but he's all right now, it appears.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. Bissell's took it. He could have nearly been pinged for holding the ball. He's still in there. Got scooped it out. That's good play. They're going to clear it again. This is Colour now for Silvan. They're moving the ball up towards a half-forward line, charging out and taking a good mark in front. And probably will have a shot for goal too is Dan Toohey. So he's already kicked 1 goal in this first term. This will be his second. He wants the short options on and a left unmarked in the forward pocket. I think that's Ash Froud, and it's the man you want to have it in his arms too. Not too sure how many he's already kicked this afternoon. He's also got the 1. Silvan's got 4, and this could open up a very handy break, Ray.
And that was very sloppy work by the Ferntree Gully defenders there to let Ash Froud lead forward and take an easy mark, uncontested. Ferntree Gully got to tighten up on that back line.
Superstar player is Ash Froud. He's done this so many times in an illustrious career. Is he going to do it? No, he's going to push it to the right-hand side. You give the guy a rap and he lets you down. So minor score is the result. That's their first for the afternoon too, Silvan. They've been kicking very straight. It must be the BWS Moz because they move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 4 goals, 125. It's a 4-goal lead over the Ferntree Gully, who are 1 behind.
We'll get some stats that matter very shortly from Grant Campbell in just a moment as the kick comes to the half-back position. Massive pack of players camped under it. Taking possessions, Rowe spears it in. Can't take possession. Little handball from Lovett. And Lovett's give to Leary. Leary takes the ball over the boundary line. Soupy?
The handball count, you mentioned Silvan were getting a lot of them. They've had 39 compared to Ferntree Gully with 23.
Back into play. Little handball was fed out by Cox. High left foot kick to half-back. Interfering there in the back of Litchfield.
Really?
So, well, that's what I thought it was. No. Free kick, in fact's gone to Top.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I can't believe it went that way.
Yeah, surprising decision. Top's kick. Should have been marked then by Harrop. Couldn't quite gather it in. Harrop had the presence of mind to steady. Boots it forward. Nice grab taken by Stapleton. Under 19's player who's earned a regular gig at senior level this year. There's the kick around the corner. And just off target, minus score there for Ferntree Gully by Ryan Pearce. First time we've called him. Ben Waterworth's favourite Eagles has been quiet thus far.
So the kick's going to go to one direction on the kick in, but standing tall and taking a good mark was Chris Goodlett. Swings around now on the left boot, moves the ball up towards the centre wing position, cutting it across and taking a good mark was Rowan. He wants to move it too. He probably took off a little bit too fast because the kick went up half forward and it was chopped off there by Hammond, who kicks it into the middle of the ground. Giannopoulos, he's finding a little bit of space. He's such a clever player. Can they link up through the middle of the Eagles? They do so now. The kick goes forward inside 50 and it's been chopped off by Pereira, who's actually started terrifically across the half-back line. He's got a lot of zip, this young guy. So Pereira, sorry Ray.
Bernie Ryan wouldn't be happy with the disposal of the Ferntree Gully boys. They're turning the ball over too easily.
Pereira went to Tui and in turn went to Shaw into the middle of the ground. They just seem to be a little bit cleaner with their skills early in the Silvan. So Shaw is going to be asked to move it on now. Kicks it up towards the half forward line. Charging out was Cullen, got down on hands and knees, got the handball out, that was okay. They've got the numbers, the Cats, a kick up towards the half forward line. It was intended for Mark Cullen that time. Picked up there by Lawson. Interesting hairdo. Finds its way to Atkinson on the wing position. Kick nearly was half smothered. It goes up in towards the centre of the ground. Who's going to go for it? Pereira left it for his teammate. Probably wasn't the right option too. He had the better sight for it. Ferntree Gully still trying to push the ball forward. Charging in from the side, Litchfield. He's been good too. Kick up towards the half forward line or 50-metre line. Was half smothered over the boundary line and out of bounds right near that Silvan bench. They'll be pretty happy too down there. I just want to hold at Ferntree Gully these last couple of minutes. We've gone 23 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboards on the half forward line for Ferntree Gully. Ball fisted straight back over and we'll have another restart. Can the Eagles get a late goal? Front spot there was Lovett, but the Cats are going to clear over the top. This is Tui, works the ball into the middle of the ground, kicks it across. It goes to the top of the goal square towards the Harrop direction. He had front spot. Who's going to be front and centre now? The kick goes to the top of the goal square. The umpire's going to pay a mark too if anyone can pull it down. Still pack form, snap around the body. They just sort of let that one go, and Chris Goodlett takes a mark at the last line of defence.
He does indeed, and comes away to Tui. Sean Tui at half-back, takes the mark. Quickly plays on, looks for his brother. But ill-advised on that occasion because it was a 2-on-1 contest favouring Ferntree Gully. Musket goes laterally to Rawlings, who unloads with a thumping kick. Beautiful pass there by Ben Rawlings. Finds a teammate at half-forward. I think this might be top for Ferntree Gully. Weighs up his options now. Goes short. Tries to measure the pass, and a terrific grab taken there by Hagar in a pack of 3 or 4. He was the one who judged it best. And Paul Hagar, who's been fairly quiet so far for Ferntree Gully, as have most of their forwards. He has a chance to kick the much needed and long awaited first goal for the Eagles in this first quarter.
That build-up was much better by Ferntree Gully then. Instead of just bombing the ball in the forward, they were looking for options and a lead up forward there, and a great mark to Hagar for sure.
So Paul Hagar Lines up the goals, looks good off the boot, never looked like missing. And the former Mustang has kicked the first for Ferntree Gully. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Ferntree Gully 1 goal to 8. Silvan a 4-1-25. It's a 17-point lead to the Cats.
And that would be a relief, I think, to Bernie Ryan. They had to get that first goal on the board in this quarter. And as I said, look, their build-up was just much better than what they've been doing earlier in the quarter.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s, 12-10 in favour of Silvan. I think it was 12-7 a few minutes ago, though.
26 minutes gone here in the first term. Maybe time for either side to snag another one if they're up to the challenge. Bissell's came in late, then probably got the knockdown. Well paid to him, went towards Strawhair. Got it across to Tui, who charges inside 50 with his kick. Ball sits along that half-forward line now. Put his body on the line was Lawson. Goes in again. The umpire's going to pay a free kick. I think this might go to the way of Silvan.
Cullen.
It'll go to Cullen, so about 55 metres out from goal.
Mark Cullen's so very good at the contest. He gets front and centre all the time, and of course the ball come to the ground there, and he was just taken high to a free kick.
So Cullen, we saw a shot by Ash Froud from virtually the identical position, just missed short time ago. He's going to go for the short option towards the Froud direction, but the kick wasn't too crash hot over the back of the pack. The mark has been taken. They're not going to waste any time to the Eagles because Michael Tops found position on the wing if he's up to it at the ball. The ball, Ennis put his body on the line, wrapped up by Top in a good tackle, and the umpire's going to bounce it right in front of the Ferntree Gully box. No doubt Bernie Ryan will be barking orders down then. Bissell's got the knockdown. That was good. It had the run of Shaw if he was good enough to pick it up. Lawson's in there for Ferntree Gully. Ball still stays in. Top's going to be the first one to meet it for the Eagles. He scoops on it now. Got the handball back to Leary. Tried to break one tackle. Took on another one. Nearly got himself into a lot of trouble, but got the handball away. The kick is kicked out of the danger zone, but it went nowhere because Ennis, well, he was in the position A and dropped what he probably should have taken at the fall of the ball. Litchfield just put his body on the line when he had to, and we'll have a bounce. Just forward for Silvan. Is wasting no time. Starting this one again. Bissell's, Atkinson, will give that one to Atkinson this time at ground level. Shaw put his body on the line. The umpire could have nearly paid him a free kick for in the back against Lockhart, but he let it go. And there's the siren at 4-quarter time out here at Ferntree Gully Reserve, and a good first term too by the away side. Silvan lead this one 4-1-25 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. A handy 17-point lead over Ferntree Gully, 1-8. Match of the day, Division 4. Who's going to take third spot on the ladder? Only time will tell. We'll be back with all the around the ground scores with Ben Waterworth and what happened in this quarter and what's going to happen for the rest of the day right here on EFL Game Day.
Hi, I'm Les Ferguson. Join me every Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. for the Drive program on Radio Eastern FM. I'll be guiding you home, traffic reports from the Eastern Freeway and the Maroondah Highway, and I'll bring you up to date with news, sport and weather on the hour. Plus my 5:30 quiz and your favourite music, hits and memories, right here on Radio Eastern FM.
Radio Eastern 98.1 at 19-3, currently 15 degrees at Melbourne's outer east. I'm Barry Guys back here in the studio, and we'll return to our EFL match of the day in just a moment for the second quarter. But checking some AFL scores this afternoon, and big game, of course, at the MCG between Collingwood and at the first quarter. It was Hawthorn the lead, Hawthorn 5-6-36, leading Collingwood 3-2-20. And a short while ago, about halfway through the second quarter, it was Hawthorn still having a lead. Hawthorn 6-7-43, lead Collingwood 4-6-30. Major goal kickers for Hawthorn, Gunston has 2, also Jordan Lewis has 2, and Bruce 1. And for Collingwood, Beams, Dawes and Sidebottom 1 each. And the other game being played this afternoon is over there in Adelaide, between Adelaide and West Coast. It's coming up to quarter time, and Adelaide have a fair lead. Adelaide 5-3-33, lead West Coast 1-1-7. Major goal kickers for Adelaide, well, they're all single goal kickers. Dangerfield, Jenkins and Johncock has 1, and for West Coast, Darling has a single goal. Now, what do you do when you have a medical emergency? Well, public emergency departments do a great job, but are always busy and often have long waiting times. Private hospitals charge you $280 more for additional services. But at Akira Urgent Care, there is no waiting and will only pay a maximum of $150 out of pocket, which includes other diagnostic services you may need. So, which options should you choose? Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical emergency clinic. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Moronga, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care, your health, your destiny.
In footy, the best players always get tagged. In Melbourne, the best and cheapest way to get around the tollways is to get your car tagged. That's because a Breeze account works on Eastlink and it works on CityLink too. A tag's also the cheapest way to use Eastlink and CityLink. So open your Breeze account online at eastlink.com.au and start winning as a tagger today. Speaking of winning, my team's a sure thing for 4 points today and maybe the premiership. Come on up, that was in the back. Eastlink, it's time better spent, like at the footy.
Program sponsor. In desperate need of some windows but your budget's too tight? Never fear, because the team at T&B Window Warehouse has the right solution for you. We have surplus windows to suit the needs of any budget. We're located at 120 to 124 Bayfield Road East, Bayswater North. Give us a call, 8727 7506. That's 8727 7506. T&B Window Warehouse. Don't forget the name, part of the EAL and AW Transport Group. #1 in window transport. Program sponsor.
To use. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Plenty of around the ground scores around the Eastern Football League to go through here at Ferntree Gully Reserve. It is the Eagles 1-2-8, trailing Silvan 4-1-25. They certainly got out of the blocks, did the Cats, and they're off to a good start here at Ferntree Gully Reserve. Plenty of other scores, as I said, around the Eastern Football League. Let's go through them now as the umpires give the two huddles a bit of a hurry up. In Division 1, Croydon 2-2-14, trailing East Burwood 5-1-31, Scoresby 4-1-25, leading Lilydale 1-2-8. And Blackburn off to a great start against East Ringwood. Blackburn 7-3-45, leading East Ringwood 2-2-14. In Division 2, Bayswater 5-5-35 to Doncaster 4-2-26. Montrose 8-4-52. Big lead over Donvale 2 straight 12. And Mulgrave 3-3-21, leading Doncaster East 2-3-15. And a score through from Wayne Brasher at Vermont. Vermont 3-3-21 to Norwood 1-2-8. A good start there for the Eagles in that grudge match against the Norsemen. In Division 3, Templestowe 3-4-22. They're off to a good start over North Ringwood 2-3-15. 7 points the margin. Wanturna South have got the jump over Baronia. The Devils 3-6-24 to Baronia 2-2-14. Ringwood 1-6-12 to Warrandyte 1-3-9. Heathmont 4-3-27 to Glen Waverley Hawks, 1 behind, and going by Peter Baird's tweets, all of those 4 goals to Heathmont have come from Darren Sheen. And the Pioneers 4-3-27 are leading Coldstream 1 behind. A full lot of scores in Division 4, Surrey Park and South Belgrave 7-6-48, leading Surrey Park 2-2-14. The Eastern Lions 6-7-43, comfortably leading Canterbury 1 behind. And Nunawading 1-5-11, leading Park Orchards 3 behind. And of course here in our radio game, Ferntree Gully Eagles 1-2-8, trailing Silvan 4-1-25. At Rowville, the Hawks have got the start there that they wanted, Ray Baird. Rowville 6-6-42 to the Waverley Blues 2-1-13. And one other score just coming through from G-Mac himself. Mitcham, a 5-4-34 to Churnside Park 2-4-16.
Great stuff, Ben Waterworth, working around the grounds this afternoon with Annie French, of course. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Matt Stats with the first quarter stats.
Some of the stats that Silvan won the first quarter. The hit-outs were 21-9 in their favour. Centre clearances 5-1. Handballs 45-30. The uncontested possessions 52-38. And a sign of how fierce the game was, the tackle count 18-15 in Ferntree Gully's favour.
Quarter just about to get underway. Ray Baird, how did you see the first term and what did Ferntree Gully have to do to get back in this one?
Well, look, early in that quarter, Ferntree Gully's defence was very good. They just stopped everything that went down there early on in the quarter. But then the forwards from Silvan, they found the way to get loose. And look, to me, the best player around the stoppages and the best player on the ground has been Mark Cullen. Just his experience and what he's done around the stoppages has been fantastic. What Ferntree Gully have to do? I think they've got to start running the ball, and the main thing they'll do is hit targets.
Brad Henderson, take us away, my friend.
Proud getting the kick forward, but it was chopped off by Leary, who gave it to Cox, and then on to Lawson. Ferntree Gully move out of defence nicely, high up and under kick by Rawlings, but it was good in the end for Pearce. Gave him plenty of time to get to the footy.
Great kick too.
Yeah, nice pass there by Ryan Pearce. He's moved the ball up towards the wing position. So Ferntree Gully, good promising signs, I guess, in the very early stages of this second quarter. Mark held there for Silvan by Bissell's, who dominated in the ruck in the early stages of this match. And Bissell's kick there intended for Noy. So, gone about a minute in the second quarter. There's the long kick for Silvan. Tui the target. Tui with the big fist, knocked it down. Little handball spilled clear. Lockhart gave it off to Pearce. High kick by Ryan Pearce, but this time it's been, well, the kick was well scouted by Jared Rowe, who chances his arm and bursts clear for Silvan. Bit of kick-to-kick going on at the moment. I think this is Pearce again, who's taken the mark for Ferntree Gully. Short pass was Giannopoulos, in fact. Gets it back now. Giannopoulos' kick to the broadcast side wing, where he finds Top. Neat kick by Top for Hagar. Out in front, had it fisted away from him. Hagar now dishes off a little handball. That was clever. This is promising for Ferntree Gully. Muscat's handball back to Hagar in the goal square, but Silvan, they stood up to the pressure then well. That was Rowe. Bursts clear, looks for Cullen. Can't quite find him. Mark Cullen had a teammate in support. Strawhair gives a free kick away for some holding.
Not necessary.
And yeah, it was real let-off, wasn't it? But in fact, the free kick's going to Silvan. Pereira, bit of a floater. Another mystifying decision, that one, as Hayne took the mark, shared it with Giannopoulos.
Boundary.
And Giannopoulos' kick, not his best effort, finds the boundary line. And speaking of which, we do cross boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care with Braden Ingram.
Thanks, Brad. The quarter-time address for Ferntree Gully by Bernie Ryan. He really was disappointed that they didn't play smart in that first term. They really needed to work harder. They're going inside 50. They were really scrappy. And this tempo is really high, and they need to continue throughout the game.
Little kick around the corner from Aitken, but it was chopped off. Silvan come out of defence. So they dodge a bullet on that occasion. Couple of bounces here for Goodlett. Wants to swing onto his trusty left foot. Searing kick there by Goodlett. Looking for Froud. Bounce just in front of him. Really half-volleyed Froud then in the end. Litchfield it is, who attacks the footy. Spilled out to Atkinson. Big high kick. And Atkinson's kick lands safely in the arms of Brent Pereira for Silvan, who sums up his options, does it well in the end, and finds Litchfield. Bryce Litchfield.
It's been super.
He's been a bit of a journeyman in recent years, played at Surrey Park and the Whitehorse Pioneers. Looking for Trigwell on that occasion, couldn't quite find him. Let's cross boundary side once again, this time thanks to Akira Urgent Care. It's Daniel Sensi.
Thank you very much, Brad Henderson. The main message from Silvan coach Chris Goodlett at quarter time was just keep the scoreboard pressure up and put the ball into space, especially on a big ground such as this one. But as for the improvements, he really wanted to see an improvement in the tackles. They were down by 10, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that this quarter.
Free kick goes to Litchfield on centre wing. So he'll have another shot. Pretty much he's going to get a 25-metre penalty too. The umpire screaming for the man on the mark to just keep coming back, but Caligari didn't want a bar of it, so the free kick moves it all the way up to about 70 metres out from goal now, Ray.
Yeah, look, Ferntree Gully in this quarter, their defence has been pretty good. They're running the ball out, but where they've been falling down is once they get it over the centre, they're bombing it again and turning the ball over.
Well, they're putting each other under pressure because the ball scrambles its way up towards the half-forward line. This time it's Zapetti, I think it was. Little short pass there by Cullen. That was cute too. And unfortunately, couldn't find his teammate. The ball spills over the boundary line and out of bounds. It was Canada. So boundary throw in. Across to Ben Waterworth with some around the ground scores very shortly. Pye throws it in now. Once again, it fell a little bit short. Deep in the Silvan forward line. They're going to go backwards. They've got that man Litchfield once again deep in the pocket. He squares it up to the top of the goal square. It was a smart kick too, but chopped off at the last line of defence. Paul Giannopoulos. Ben Waterworth around the grounds.
In Division 4, Surrey Park trailing South Belgrove by 34 points. Eastern Lions by 42 over Canterbury. And Nunawading by 8 points over Park Orchards.
Ball in the middle of the ground for the Eagles. Henry's on if they can spot him up. He was in the middle by himself. He still is. They go wider though. So the Eagles find Pearce on the outer side. He's worked himself into this game in this quarter. He's got Giannopoulos working up from half back. Still got space. Left alone way too often. Giannopoulos, his kick up towards the half forward line was an absolute beauty too. And the mark has been taken out there by Brad.
I think it's Ricky Aitken.
So it'll be Aitken from about 55 metres out. He fancies himself. He's only a little fella. So distance might push him. It was the goal scoring end in the first term, and from that outer side of the ground, they were putting him through. So Aitken kicks it to the top of the square. It's not going to make the distance though. A big fly over the back of the pack by Goodlett to go for the boundary line. Rushed over now, and we'll have a boundary throw in right forward pocket. Ferntree Gully's end. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 7-minute mark. Ferntree Gully 1-2-8, trailing still by 17 points. Neither side has scored in this second term so far. The umpires throws it in. Top over the back of the pack. Got fist onto ball. He's picked up that time there. The spill and create the split on the outer side of the ground. Noy, he couldn't take the mark, but he was up to the second challenge. He had teammates running in there for support. Oh, good play in there by Ryan Pearce just to hold the ball up, but unfortunately for him, he's given away a free kick. But it did just stem the flow, though. It was a 3-on-1 situation on that outer side.
Ferntree Gully look much better when they run the ball, Brad, but they every now and again they just go back to bombing it there and turning it over all the time.
So just wondering who number 48 is for Silvan. So Litchfield has the ball for the Cats. The half-back line switches the play to David Bissell's. Big man left all by himself. Grubbers a kick that went absolutely nowhere. That was chopped off by Lawson, who goes towards a Hagar direction. He was out in front, takes the mark. He wants to get on with it now. He's got Lovett just sneaking into the forward pocket if he wants him. So Hagar, he might go back and give himself a chance here now, and why wouldn't you? He's the key forward. If he's about 55 metres out from goal, and he needs to be the player to put the score on the board for his side. So he'll come in. Now he looks pretty confident too. No, he's going to. Well, he tried to fool everybody and went for the short pass, but it went nowhere because Pereira chopped it off, and then he wanted to move the ball quickly. He had to be centimetre perfect to Cullen, who took the mark, but didn't realise he had three players on his hammer and played on. Now it'll be the Eagles to rebound from half back. Cullen took his time, squeezed the kick in towards the middle of the ground. That player again, Pereira, put his body on the line. He just might want to hold this in. The umpire said get it out, so he had to. The big man Atkinson's down on hands and knees. Now they're going to scoop the ball out. The Eagles. Who's going to get a hand to ball? It went through Harrop. It came out to Shaw. He's also on the ground. Who's going to get it out now? It'll be Silvan. Good play there, and a crunch straw hair. The umpire probably should have paid holding the ball. They let it go though. This is Leary through the middle of the ground. Scooped it across to Lovett, who bangs it inside forward 50, looking for Hagar, who used the body really well. He had time. It was Top. Squeezes it through and bounces it straight through the middle to Michael Top. Just what the doctor ordered too for the Ferntree Gully Eagles. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they get the first goal for the second term, and they narrow that 17-point lead back to 11 because they are now 2 goals, 1-15 and playing 4-1-25. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Daniel Sensic.
Thank you very much, BWS. Number 40 out for Silvan is Tony Rapepi.
Thank you very much. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s this quarter, 7-3 in favour of Ferntree Gully. 4 times they've gone inside 50. It's been marked by a Silvan player.
11-point lead now for Silvan as Ferntree making their way back into this contest after a very sluggish start in that first term. Lockhart sends it forward, and Hagar on a long lead. That kick was perfectly placed for him. He just ran onto the footy, and he'll have a shot for goal from straight in front, Ray.
Yeah, look, Ferntree Gully look much better when they move the ball quickly. They've got Hagar up there leading up forward, taking marks out in front of. And look, he's going back for another shot. So they've got to just keep moving the ball as quick as they can. And that's a beautiful kick.
It was a lovely kick by Paul Hagar. He's got his second on the board. And Ferntree Gully, they are like a different team in the second quarter. 3 goals to 20 for Ferntree Gully. Silvan are 4-1-25. They haven't scored in this second quarter thus far.
Let's go around
Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Sorry, Brad. Let's go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
In Division 3, Templestowe by 7 points over North Ringwood. Wantirna South by 10 over Baronia. Ringwood by 3 over Mitcham by 18 over Churnside Park. Heathmont by 38 points over the Glen Waverley Hawks. And Darren Sheen's kicked all 6 of Heathmont's goals. And the Whitehorse Pioneers by 26 over Coldstream.
So Glen Waverley haven't kicked a goal?
Not as yet.
Okay, ball back in the middle of the ground. Ferntree Gully, they've kicked the last 2, but they've given away a free kick in the middle. It'll be against Lawson. Cats will want to move this ball forward now. Heads up towards the Kanata direction. He's going to be first down there. No, it was Kazupi. He put his body on the line. He earned a free kick. He probably could have got 25 for a little bit extra too. That was really silly play by Matt Hayne. And the ball will be moved up towards the half-forward line now for Silvan, probably about 55 metres out from goal. The umpire going to let this go on. No, Pereira was running on. He's still in there. He might go to him now, but they've just got players just loitering inside the forward 50, Silvan. And a mark has been taken. Well, really tight angle here for Neil Trigwell, but he's going to fancy himself about 55 metres out from goal. He's got the support of the bench. He's got the support of the Silvan faithful to ride this one home for him. It'd be an important kick too as well, because Ferntree Gully have owned this last 5 minutes or so. The kick goes up by Trigwell to the top of the square. Who's going to be at the fall of the ball? Nobody. Rushed through for one behind. That's their second, and it's 1 goal the difference out here at Ferntree Gully Reserve. Silvan 4-2-26. Ferntree Gully 3-2-20 as we cross down boundary side to Braden Ingram, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Thanks, BWS. Just want to pick up on a point made by Ray at the start of this term, just about Mark Cullen. He's been tearing it up early. Phil Lawson on him, and the coach, Bernie Ryan, was definitely clear that they need to stay with him, and that Lawson needs to continue to work hard, otherwise he could get away from them in this second quarter.
Ball up towards the wing. Giannopoulos was involved again. He's had a big second quarter. Kick there by Harrop, who was dumped by Litchfield after he kicked it, and the resulting free kick is paid downfield. It will go to Aitken. So Ricky Aitken, hard up against the boundary line. Aitken goes laterally, nice pass, finds Atkinson on the chest. Up and under kick from Atkinson, sits it in the air a long time, gave his Flyers a bit of a chance there. Strong tackle on Hammond by Noy, and the umpire will ball it up once again. 6-point lead to Silvan, 4-2-26. Ferntree Gully 3-2-20 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Check in once again with Grant Campbell in just a moment. A lot of players over the footy. Lockhart was he was the one primarily over the football, and everyone just sort of positioned themselves behind him. So, a bit of a stalemate at the moment. It's been a great second quarter by Ferntree Gully. Silvan have barely fired a shot in this second stanza. There's a free kick that will go to Calaguiri. It was against Rapepi. Little short pass by Calaguiri, measured it perfectly to Pearce. And Ryan Pearce, he sums up Ferntree Gully today. Hardly sighted in the first quarter, couldn't get his hands on the footy. Second term, he's been on fire.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap match stats.
Inside 50s now 10-3 this quarter in favour of Ferntree Gully, and although they've got the last 2 free kicks, the free kick count is 10-4 for the match in favour of Silvan.
He's a left footer, Ryan Pearce, and he's a beautiful kick for goal, and he's made no mistake there. He has got his first for the day, Ryan Pearce. Ferntree Gully have their 4th. It's their 3rd of this second quarter. And now Ferntree Gully move on to 4-2-26. Silvan are 4-2-26. We've got a level ball game in the early stages, midway stages of this second quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And as you said, Ferntree Gully are much better with those inside 50s in this quarter. They're just winning the clearances now. They're moving the ball forward. And Ryan Pearce probably wasn't sighted early in the quarter because the ball didn't go right down to the goal square.
Let's go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
In Division 2, Bayswater by 9 points over Doncaster. Montrose by 40 points over Donvale. Mulgrove by 6 points over Donny East. And Rowville by 29 points over the Waverley Blues.
Silvan got the clearance, but Ferntree Gully just banged it straight back out. Lawson's in the middle of the ground, wrapping up his opponent in a tackle. Will have a ball up just inside the centre square. Division 1 around the ground scores. Thanks, mate.
East Burwood by 17 over Croydon. By 17 over Lilydale. Baldwin by 33 over South Croydon. Blackburn by 31 over East Ringwood. And Vermont by 13 over Norwood.
Atkinson got the knockdown. He was looking for Giannopoulos, wrapping up Bissell's in a tackle. We'll have another bounce right in front of us here. Broadcast side. All square. Ferntree Gully Reserve match of the day. 4th versus 3rd. The umpire throws it up. Giannopoulos on hands and knees. Is he going to get ball out? He waited till the last moment, then scooped it. Good handball there by Strawhair. Put his team under a bit of pressure, though. There's about 12 players around this ball. It'll be Ferntree Gully to clear it that time through Lockhart, who kicks it up towards half forward, but chopping off is Pereira. He's got speed. He's got class too. The umpire got in the way there. Love it. Just charges forward for Ferntree Gully after taking a mark. It goes towards the Hager direction. He had one bite at the fall. The ball picked up by Gazupi. They're down there. The umpire's going to pay a free kick, or even he's going to... Is that a ball up, or is that a free kick that he's going to pay there? He's going to pay a ball up. You can speak, Ray. The umpire now throws it up. Danger zone for Silvan. They won't want to let another one get away. They've moved it out towards the half-back line. They can get boot to ball. They've got Trigwell by himself on centre wing. The kick put him under a lot of pressure. Putting his foot into his back, though, was Leary. And then he got it on the second bite. Got a handball over, but charging through was Mark Cullen. Had a bounce. That was silly play because he could have just run 5 metres. Went backwards to Strawhair. They're putting each other under a lot of pressure. The kick goes deep inside forward 50, but it went absolutely nowhere because Hammond's back there at the last line of defence. He's going to switch the play now to Muscat. That was good. So he'll have time for players to make their way across to this side of the ground, the broadcast side. So just a bit stagnant, goes towards Lawson. Good mark at half back. Gets the handball off now. Kick goes up towards the centre win for the Eagles. Goal standing strong and taking a good mark was Pereira. Almost best on ground for the Narellan Pools player of the day for Mind at this stage. Goes short. They've got players running in the middle of the ground. Rowe, he was put under a lot of pressure, but he got the handball away. That was okay. Ennis bangs it inside forward 50. Who's going to have front spot? Tui. He worked his way to the front spot and then he gave away a free kick. That was very stiff too.
Oh.
Hayden Lovett is going to be the recipient of it. About 15 metres out from goals. But obviously in the defensive zone, so he'll take off now. Gabe was given a lot of time to run and then kick it up towards the wing position. His target was Cullen, and over the back of the pack, Giannopoulos scooped a handball away looking for Lovett of the Jamie variety, but the boundary line beats them.
Look, I think we've seen a complete reversal of roles in this quarter. Ferntree Gully are running the ball out. Their defence is standing up very good now. Silvan are bombing the ball into the forward line and not getting any results.
Yeah, Ferntree Gully certainly playing the better football, but as it stands, scores are still level at the moment as Litchfield cops a high one from Giannopoulos. And make sure his ear's still intact. Yes, it is. Free kick to Litchfield. Really made to earn that free kick. So Litchfield gets a bit of a shepherd from Strawhair on the mark. Little handball was shot out. Long, searching left foot kick by Goodlett. But a nice mark taken defensively, and Cullen very lucky there not to concede a 25-metre penalty. Matt Hayne, the recipient of, took the mark in fact for Ferntree Gully. Dishes it off to Hammond. Hammond has a couple of bounces, puts himself under a lot of pressure, still under pressure, but he does it well. Showed a bit of flair then and really backed himself as he came out of defence. Hammond's kick up towards the wing position. This is promising from the Eagles. Leary, Rawlings it was, who fed it out to Atkinson. Long kick by Atkinson. Looking for Hagar. Has a bit of time now to backpedal with the handball. Shot it out to Cox. Cox's kick was a good one. And he finds Pearce on a long lead. Pearce doesn't waste any time. Kicks to the square. And the mark's taken in the goal square for Ferntree Gully. And it has been marked there by Jamie Lovett. And he'll go back and line up for his first goal of the day. That was some great footy from the Eagles. Lovett makes no mistake, slots it through from the goal square, and Ferntree Gully have their 4th goal of this quarter. 5 goals, 2 now for the Eagles. They are 32. Silvan are stranded. They're stuck on 4 goals, 2-26. They can't seem to get off that score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Ray Baird, it's all Ferntree Gully at the moment, and Ryan Pearce has set him alight in the second quarter.
He has, but that goal started way down back defence when Hammond, he took on 2 defenders, he got around them both, he kicked it to somebody out there on the wing, and they came inboard, and as you said, Ryan Pearce is starting to bob up everywhere.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Uncontested possessions this quarter, 41-24 in favour of Ferntree Gully after they lost that 52-38 in the first quarter.
Ball's back in the middle of the ground. Sun-drenched Ferntree Gully Reserve this afternoon. You go local for your football, still plenty of time to get down to a great game in the eastern suburbs. Lawson got the knockdown. It was quickly picked up there by Litchfield, though. He wasn't going to waste a possession, and he didn't. Ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Kazupi was the smallest man there, but he wanted to have the fall of the ball, and he was waiting for it. Good play there by Tui. Got nearly copped one in the back. That was okay. No, it wasn't Tui. It was Bissell's. The big man got the handball away. Kick up forward by Noy to the top of the goal square, looking for Tui in that instant, but he was beaten in the task by Muscat. Wants to clear the ball out, and it was a bit of a grubber kick, but it was a safety one too. Little foot toe poke by Sean Tui. Found the boundary line about 65 metres out from goals. It's down the Silvan end. They haven't kicked a goal in this second term, and we've gone 21 minutes now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. So they'll be looking to get a late one, especially, or even a couple in junk time. The kick was cleared by Ferntree Gully, but Silvan are going to charge forward again. These little toe poke kicks, they're just not coming off on a day like today. Just kick it long towards the targets. In comes Kazupi, put his body on the line, but charging through Hammond. He was up to the task. Run now, the Ferntree Gully Eagles kick inside forward 50, looking for the... Oh, what a fly there! Great mark by Hager. He put his body on the line. He wanted to be fancy. I don't know if Bernie Ryan will like that one, but he'll go back and he'll have a shot from goal about 35 metres out from goal, and it's actually the man of the moment, Pearce, who's just come from the side and taken an absolute ripper. So he's already kicked, Pearce, just the one goal. He's actually kicked two, so... I will eventually get something right as Pearce comes in. Gun barrel straight. That's the way he kicks goals for the Ferntree Gully Football Club, and they're running away now. That's his third, and they've got a little handy 2-goal buffer as we reach the 22-minute mark in this second term. So Ferntree Gully, they're getting right on top in this one, Ray.
Yeah, look, although Harrop got that ball from the centre there, and he did go forward and he's kicked it down there, and they've marked it and kicked the goal, he had another option that was running 20-30 metres in front of him, also running down the corridor, that I just felt as a team thing he probably should have gone across to that other player, but as it turned out, they got the goal anyway.
3 goals now for Ryan Pearce, and what a second quarter he has had. It's a 12-point lead now for the Eagles. Atkinson certainly has come into his own in the second term in the ruck. Callanan, left foot kick around the corner, sent it forward. This Silvan defence is just under siege at the moment. Ball spills clear to Stapleton, handball to the square. Another goal coming up surely for Ferntree Gully. I think that was Jamie Lovett who kicked his second. And what a second quarter for the Eagles. They can do no wrong. That's 7 goals on the board for them. It was Jamie Lovett who kicked it. He's got his second, and what a second term from the Eagles. They stretched their lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Yeah, look, there was nothing pretty about the play. They just, through brute strength, they just pushed the ball forward, kept it going forward, and they got the results here with a goal to Lovett.
Crowd really starting to get into this game now. The home faithful, they were a little bit quiet in that first term, but they have been brought back to life. Great to see the NAB Oz kickers about to run out onto the ground at half-time too. The future stars of the Eastern Football League as the ball's back in the middle of the ground. That time we'll give it to Atkinson. The Ferntree Gully Eagles going to get another clearance. They are. Kick up towards a half-forward line. It creates a foot race. It's a 2-on-1 situation. First to meet, it's going to be Harrop. He overran the pill, though. He goes in hard again. Callanan overran the ball. The umpire said it was a little bit too high against Pereira, and it'll be a free kick to the Eagles. It'll go to Harrop. He's got players running into the forward pocket, but just holding up in the wind. The kick goes straight into the arms of Jared Rowe, who'll look to rebound for the Cats. Get it out of that danger zone. Short kick is on, finds his coach, Chris Goodlett. He's got Volpetti in the middle if he wanted to use him. He elected to concede 30 metres or so and go backwards. So Silvan mucking around with it and chopping off. Ben Lockhart took a good mark just inside 50, and then he's got the short pass on, and a great mark has been taken out there by Hagar this time. And, well, these two small forwards, they're running amok down there, Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
Marks inside 50 and now 10-3 for the match in favour of Ferntree Gully. If that trend continues, there's no way Silvan will get back in the match.
So Hagar, he's kicked 1 goal in the first term. Can he put it through his second for the afternoon from 50 metres? These left footers, they're getting onto it. And he pushes it to the right-hand side. Minor score is the result. That's their third on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They move to 7 goals, 3, a 45. It's a 19-point lead now. Silvan 4-26.
So the ball to be brought back in for Silvan by Stephen Ennis. One behind in this quarter for Silvan. Disastrous second quarter for them. The big sweater, Rhett Newell, was the target, and he takes the mark at half-back.
Who did Rhett Newell used to play for?
Played at Croydon, played at Montrose last year.
Montrose, yeah.
It's been around a bit. One of Nick Johnston's project players back in the day at Croydon.
Okay.
Nick Johnston's listening. He'll appreciate that. He'll appreciate that reference. So boundary throw in, broadcast side of Ferntree Gully Reserve, just in front of our fantastic vantage point that we have here this afternoon. Palm down there by Bissell's. Ball came out to Lovett. Jamie Lovett's long kick, but it will be nicely marked back there by Cornish. He had that kick well and truly scouted. Cornish's kick, dangerous, was looking for Jared Rowe, who's had a good game in defence for Silvan. It's been one of their best. Cornish sends it forward. It's Trigwell was the target. Atkinson, though, kept his feet nicely. Just shared it with Leary. Dean Leary manages to get back onto his preferred right foot. Sends it forward, but Silvan, plenty of defenders back there. And no real intention there from Cornish to keep the ball in play. Happy to see it over the boundary line as once again we do cross boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Thank you, Brad. Just an update on the wind down here. It's actually switched directions. It's now blowing across the ground towards our commentary position. So no favour to Silvan in this second term.
Newell against Callanan in the ruck. Socket off the ground there by Cornish to concede it behind for Silvan. And Ferntree Gully doing all the attacking at the moment. They're 7-4-46. Silvan 4-2, 26, 20-point lead to the Eagles on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. BWS.
And they're not going to waste any time too either, Silvan. They need a late goal in this quarter. The ball's into the middle of the ground. Giannopoulos just waited for it, then had to go in hard. He got absolutely crunched in there. Charging through was Pereira for the Cats. He beat one, he beat two. He had to give the feed out. He got that now. Kick up towards the half-forward line. Coming out and taking a really strong mark was Ash Froud right on the siren. And they're going to and rightfully so. So Ash Froud, if you ever wanted it in one man's hands to get you back into a game, he is that man, and he'll have a shot from 55 metres out, and I think he can make the distance, Ray. It's just whether he's direct.
Well, he should make the distance from there.
So Ash Froud,
I'm going to back him to kick it.
He's kicked one goal. He's kicked many of important goal in his career. He'll come in from 55 metres. He's going to go for a sloppy barrel. It was pretty straight on too, and it's even been let through and bounced over for one behind. So a point is the result. A bit of a let off there to bounce through. They probably should have stopped that one. The Ferntree Gully backs. You never know how valuable a point could come on in the day. But it's a terrific game out here at Ferntree Gully Reserve. The home side, they got back into it in this game, and they currently lead by 3 goals at half-time on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We'll be back with all the around-the-ground scores from Divisions 4, 3, 2 and 1 with Ben Waterworth right after this break on EFL Gameday.
This is Everett Hargraves inviting you to join me for a relaxing interlude every Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock for the Thursday Drive program. Each week I highlight the work of a different songwriter, play some easy listening music, a little jazz, the songs of Broadway and the sounds of the 60s. We also get to share what's happening in our local community. So come on, tune into Radio Eastern 98.1 FM between 4 and 6 o'clock each Thursday for the Thursday Drive program with me, Everett Hargraves. A great way to wind down after a busy day.
Radio Eastern 98.1 at 16 after 3, and it's half-time in the EFL match of the day, and we'll be returning in just a moment for the game between Ferntree Eagles and Silvan. But it's Barry Cots here back in the studio. It's time to check some AFL scores. It's currently half-time. They're just about to start the third quarter at the MCG this afternoon, and the game between Collingwood and Hawthorn. And at half-time, Hawthorn lead 9-8-62 to Collingwood 6-7-43. Major goal kickers for Hawthorn, Bruce, and Gunston has 2, as well as Lewis having 2. And for Collingwood, Beams, Dawes, and Sidebottom. And they're currently just about to start the quarter. So Hawthorn enjoy a 19-point lead at half-time. And the other game over in Adelaide at Amy's Stadium is between Adelaide West Coast, and it's coming up to the half-time siren, and a short time ago Adelaide 9-6-60 lead West Coast Eagles 4-4-28. For Adelaide, John Cock and White have 2 each, 1 to Dangerfield, and for West Coast, Darling, Harris and Kerr have 1 each. Now, do you have a sudden fever, aching body, sore throat, chills, nausea, headache, dizziness? It sounds like you need medical assistance urgently. It's difficult getting an immediate appointment with your GP when you need care fast. So come to Akira Urgent Care where you don't need an appointment and you won't have to wait. So, they're Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronga, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. Your health, your destiny.
If you love your EFL footy like I do, and you love getting down to see your team play, you don't want to be spending your weekend stuck in the car driving. That's why I opened a Breeze account. EastLink is the quickest, easiest way to get around Melbourne's east, and tags the team. Instead of being stuck behind the wheel, I can have more time getting stuck into the umpire. Ball! EastLink, it's time better spent, like at the footy.
Program sponsor. In desperate need of some windows but your budget's too tight? Never fear, because this has the right solution for you. We have surplus windows to suit the needs of any budget. We're located at 120 to 124 Bayfield Road East, Bayswater North. Give us a call, 8727 7506. That's 8727 7506. T&B Window Warehouse. Don't forget the name, part of the EAL and AW Transport Group. #1 in window transport. Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Half-time here in the game between Ferntree Gully Eagles and Silvan. Ferntree Gully 7-4-46. Great comeback in that second term to Silvan 4-3-27. Doing some fantastic work. The Ferntree Gully Eagles Football Club, led by Ryan Pearce and Jamie Lovett in that second term. Let's go around the grounds. Let's start in Division 1. Croydon 5-6-36, trailing East Burwood 10-6-66. Scoresby 8-4-52. Very, very nicely over Lilydale at the moment. Only 1-5-11. That is a 41-point margin. Noble Park and Knox, thanks to Paul Amy of Leading Newspapers. Noble Park 7-7-49 to Knox 2-3-15. And Vermont 3-6-24, trailing Norwood 4-2-26. So the Norsemen fighting back in that second term. In Division 2, Montrose, big win coming up here for the Demons. You'd think 13-9-87 Montrose to Donvale, 7 straight 42. Doncaster East have got the lead back out at Mulgrave. The Lions of the Doncaster East variety are 6-8-44 to Mulgrave, 5-5-35. Roeville 12-7-79, leading the Waverley Blues 4-2-26 quite convincingly. In Division 3, Baronia 6-1-37, trailing Wantirna South 8-10-58. Wantirna South putting in a good performance. Ringwood 5-6-36, leading Warrandyte 4-4-28. In the big Division 3 relegation battle, Coldstream 5-3-33, leading trailing Whitehall-Spine 6-5-41. It's an 8-point margin. And the Glen Waverley Hawks and Heathmont game, the Glen Waverley Hawks are 5-6-36 to Heathmont 6-5-41. And in Division 4, Canterbury 5-4-34, trailing the Eastern Lions 8-11-59. But a good quarter by Canterbury that term. They kick 5 goals 3 to the Eastern Lions 2 goals 4. So well done there to the Cobras. And here at in the Nunawading Park Orchards game, Nunawading have got out to a 9-point lead, 6-6-42 to Park Orchards 4-9-33. And of course, here in our radio game, it is the Ferntree Gully Eagles 7-4-46, leading the Silvan Footy Club 4-3-27 in that term. Ferntree Gully kicked 6 goals 2 to Silvan 2 behinds. Pretty disappointing, I would think, if you were a Silvan supporter. So plenty of other scores around the Eastern Football League, just waiting for those to come through. We'll give a call in to Peter Baird very, very shortly. Let's just go through some of those scores again. Croydon 5-6-36, trailing East Burwood 10-6-66. Scoresby 8-4-52, trailing Lilydale 1-5-11. Noble Park 7-7-49, leading Knox 2-3-15, and Vermont 3-6-24 are trailing North 4-2-26. Montrose 79, leading the Waverley Blues 4-2-26. And it looks like a bit of a shootout out at East Ringwood Reserve today. East Ringwood 10-4-64, but they do trail Blackburn 13-6-84. So 20-point lead to Blackburn there at half-time, but doing a very nice job are the Blackburn Football Club against the East Ringwood side. In Division 3, Baronia 6-1-37, trailing Wantana South 8-10-58. Ringwood 5-6-36, leading Warrandyte 4-4-28. The Glen Waverley Hawks 5-6-36 are trailing Heathmont 6-5-41. Sheen apparently has all the goals for Inside Park 4-5-29. So some nice stuff going on there for Mitcham, just continuing their good form over the past couple of weeks. They lead by 25 points. And in Division 4, well, South Belgrave by plenty is the text I've got through from EFL head of umpire and Michael Voslo. So thanks for your specifics, Vos. Much appreciated. Canterbury 5-4-34, trailing the Eastern Lions 8-11-59, but a good comeback by the Cobras in that term. The Eastern Lions leading by 25 points. Ferntree Gully 7-4-46, leading Silvan 4-3-27 here in our match of the day, a 19-point lead to the Eagles. And Nunawading 6-6-42, trailing Park Orchards 4-9, Scoresby 6-2, South Croydon I should say 6-2-38. So 59-point lead there to Baldwin. And just having a look at some other scores at the moment. Just coming around here, we'll get the Templestowe and North Ringwood. We'll try and get that score up for you as soon as we can. So just repeating the score here at Ferntree Gully. It is 7-4-46 to the Eagles. 4-3-27 is the Silvan Football Club. So some nice work going on. You can text us any time throughout the day on 0419 654 082. That is 0419 654 082. Or you can tweet us anytime here at Footy EFL. So at Footy EFL, Annie is doing some fantastic work on the Twitter today. So make sure you keep on tweeting us. We'll get Peter Baird up on the line very, very shortly. But just repeating, Ferntree Gully 7-4-46 to Silvan 4-3-27. Got a score through from the Upper Ferntree Gully Mooralbark game. It is Mooralbark 5-3-33. Thanks, Annie. 5-3-33 Mooralbark to Upper Ferntree Gully 4-1-25. So Mooralbark not as easy as probably what they thought it would be. They're only up by 8 points at half time. But what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the game between the Glen Waverley Hawks and Heathmont. Heathmont currently leading by 5 points, 6-5-41 to the Glen Waverley Hawks 5-6-36. From what I understand, Darren Sheen started this game very, very nicely. He kicked the first 6 goals of the game to get Heathmont out to a 38-point lead, but the Glen Waverley Hawks have been able to trim the lead back in the second term, so good on them. Just repeating some scores before we head out to Peter Baird. Just having a few issues at the moment, so we'll go to the East Burwood and Croydon game. East Burwood by 30 points over Croydon. Scoresby by 41 points over Lilydale. Baldwin by 59 points over South Croydon. Blackburn by 20 points over East Ringwood. Noble Park by 34 points over Knox. Norwood by 2 points over Vermont in the Division 1 match of the round. Bayswater 11-7-73, leading Doncaster 6-3-39. Montrose 13-9-87, leading Donvale 7 straight 45-point lead to Montrose. Doncaster East by 9 points over Mulgrave. Rowville by 53 points over the Waverley Blues. And Mooralbark by 8 points over the Upper Ferntree Gully side. In Division 3, just waiting for a score from the Templestowe North Ringwood game. Might come through on Twitter by Kevin Smith. I'll check that in a tick. Baronia 6-1-37, trailing Montana South 8-10-58. Mitcham 8-6-54, leading Churnside Park 4-5-29. Ringwood by 8 points over Warrandyte. Heathmont by 5 points over the Glen Waverley Hawks, and the Wildest Pioneers by 8 points over Coldstream. The Eastern Lions 8-11-59, leading Canterbury 5-4-34. Here in our radio game, Ferntree Gully Eagles 7-4-46 to Silvan 4-3-27, and Nunawading 6-6-42 to 4-9-33. So what we might do now is go to a break here on EFL Gameday. Of course, here in our radio game, Silvan is back out on the park. They are trailing by 19 points at the moment. Ferntree Gully Eagles having a very good second team. So let's take our break here on EFL Gameday. Hopefully come back with a very quick report from Peter Baird after the break. But right now, let's hear from our much valued sponsor, the Eastern Football League. We'll come back with more scores from around the grounds and, of course, second half action from Ferntree Gully and Silvan right here on EFL Gameday.
I'm Pam Pepperell, and I will be with you Fridays from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m, playing contemporary classic hits from the 50s through to the 80s. Also great music from Broadway and film. So tune in every Friday at 11 a.m. for pleasant entertainment right here on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM.
Oh, you ought to see me now. If you could only see me now. If you would only see me now.
Radio Eastern 98.1. Let's take a check of some more AFL scores, and the game at the MCG this afternoon is between Collingwood and Hawthorn. It's about a halfway mark into the third quarter, and Hawthorn so far have kicked 4 goals in the third quarter. They've jumped out on the blocks, and Hawthorn currently 12-8-80 lead Collingwood 6-8-44, so a bit of a lead to Hawthorn there. And the other game, it's half-time between Adelaide and the West Coast over there at Amy Stadium. And at half-time, it's Adelaide at 10-66 lead West Coast Eagles 5-5-35. So a 31-point lead to Adelaide over West Coast at half-time. And the major goal kickers John Cock and Vince have 2 each. And for West Coast, Darling, Haynes and Kerr have 1 each. Now, what do you do when you have a medical emergency? Public emergency departments do a great job, but are always busy and often have long waiting times. Private hospitals charge you $280 or more for additional services. But at Care Urgent Care, there's no waiting, and you'll only pay a maximum of $150 out of pocket, which includes other diagnostic services you may need. So, which option should you choose? Care Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Kira Urgent Care, your health, your destiny.
20% makes a lot of difference. Imagine your team kicking 20% less goals and being 20% behind on the scoreboard. Actually, it's not. Now, imagine using a Breeze Tag account on Eastlink and getting a 20% discount on all weekend car trips. No need to imagine, it's for real. Open your account online at eastlink.com.au and get 20% off car trips all weekend, every weekend on Eastlink. Now, let's give my mate Ross 20% more stick for being 4 goals behind. Hey, Roscoe! Eastlink, it's time better spent, like in the footy. Program sponsor.
Every club expects high performance from their team. At Ferntree Gully Holden, you'll find the latest high-performance vehicles in the HSV range, and the team will give you the best possible deal. So if you're looking for a high-performance HSV, look no further than Ferntree Gully Holden, Burwood Highway, Ferntree Gully, for a great deal, or visit www.ftgmotor.com.au. Ferntree Gully Holden, your community dealer. LMCT 443, a proud supporter of the Eastern Football League and Radio Eastern.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local with your footy.
Well, Brad Henderson taking us away with the second half Division 4 match of the day.
Thanks very much, BWS. The second half is underway here at Ferntree Gully Reserve as Lawson gets the first effective kick of the second half. Send it forward for the Eagles, and a free kick has gone to Stapleton. So Jeremy Stapleton, probably just outside his range, you would think. I'm not going to back anyone else from this distance. I said Ash Froud would kick the goal after the halftime siren, and in the end, he didn't even come close. He did trouble the scorers. It was a behind, but he fell well short with the distance. This is a thumping kick by Stapleton. It's fallen just short. Still in play. Cullen hard up against the boundary line for Silvan, goes short. And a neat pass to Litchfield. So Bryce Litchfield for Silvan, a couple of the Silvan veterans there in Mark Cullen and Litchfield combining. And he wants to switch play to the outer side. Quite liked the first half of him. Jared Rowe is he's found the boundary line on this occasion. It's bounced just inside the field of play.
Look out!
You may be able to hear that the effects, Mike, plane going over the ground. Boundary rider's too busy signing to his teammate in Atkinson, off to Callanan. Callanan's kick was a good one, and Hagar has taken the mark and expect him to go back and slot through what we think is either his second or third goal, hoping to get clarification maybe from our Akira boundary riders on just how many Paul Hagar has kicked to this stage. Lining up for, I've got it as his second goal of the day. It is his second, in fact. And Paul Hagar slots it through. So 2 goals on the board now for him. And 3 goals, in fact. I knew that was going to happen just as he kicked it. 3 goals for Paul Hagar, and Ferntree Gully off to a good start in the second half.
Yeah, that was great play by Callanan there, breaking away from the clearance, and he's put the ball down to Hagar in a one-on-one contest. Very strong Hagar on those contests and taken a mark, and that's the start that Ferntree Gully wanted, and certainly Silva didn't want that.
So the ball's back in the middle of the ground. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Silvan get the clearance. The ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Who's going to be there in position A? And I think that was Aitken. No, it wasn't. It was Muscat. So he switches the play. Back pocket. Platanic on the right boot. Goes up towards the wing position. The big man, Sean Atkinson, comes out and takes a mark. He's always got a thumping kick on him. Squeezes the ball back up to Muscat. They're spreading right across the ground here. Callanan's made space. Takes a mark. So they've gone nowhere quickly, but they've still been able to draw a player. So the Eagles are away now up towards the wing position. The target this time is going to be Stapleton. He had the back spot but worked his way to the front. That was good play there by Rowe to get down low and create the spill. Good play there by Silvan. The handball went into no man's land though. Krusty the Clown Lawson picked the ball up and then went through the middle. Got it to Rawlings up towards the half-forward line. But the kids, it's like Brad said, it's a bit kick-to-kick out here this afternoon. The ball goes driving long, inside forward 50, and a great mark taken by Froud at the back of the pack. He just judged the ball in flight perfectly, and he'll have a shot for Silvan's 5th goal on the board, and geez, they need this one.
Mentioned Mark Cullen a few times today, Ray, but I reckon Sean too is the other one who's just had a huge work rate, has won heaps of the footy and continually driven Silvan forward.
Yeah, look, that was great play by Sean Tui out of defence, a very strong play.
So Froud, he's already kicked one, he'll want 2, he kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head, and that's a very important goal for the Silvan Football Club. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, that's his second. They move to 5 goals, 3-33. They're closing the gap, it's back to 19 points. Ferntree Gully, 8 goals, 4-52.
Yeah, look, that was once again one-on-one, very strong Ash Froud on those contests, and a goal to Silvan. But look, they need heaps more of those to get back into it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, much needed, that's for sure. That goal there by Ash Froud. Silvan, that's their first goal since the first term, and it was a real goal drought in that second quarter for them, where they kicked just one behind for the quarter, as a matter of fact. So. Good start to the third term, 1 goal each. Umpire back in the middle, tosses it up. It's Rhett Newell now in the ruck for Silvan. There's the kick forward, marked at centre half back though, and the Cats will come away once more. This is Rowe, who's at half back. Jared Rowe weighs up his options. Harrop on the mark, really corralled him nicely then. Rowe's dangerous handball back to Tui. Taking possession now for Silvan. Sean Tui, sweeping handball, covers plenty of distance. Harrop got involved. and had Hammond in support. There's a free kick. The whistle's been blown, and a free kick will go to Ferntree Gully, and it's with Trent Harrop. There's a number 32 out there for Silvan in this second half. We'll just get our boundary riders to pick up who's got the number 32 jumper for the Cats as Rawlings unloads. High kick, what a leap by Pearce, but the mark was well held there by Tui. He just judged the flight of the ball better, and Dan Tui had his name in the end written all over that one. High kick by Tui, was to a 2-on-1 contest. Harrop, handball, put his teammate under some pressure from Litchfield, and it will be a boundary throw-in, I'm tipping it's Kanata who's got number 32 on there for Silvan.
It is.
Back into play. Trigwell, copped a high one. Litchfield, little give, was clever, gave it to Pereira. Pereira's kick, out into open space. Goodlet wheels around now. High kick, looking for Froud. Nice mark taken defensively though, but there by Hammond. And Josh Hammond once again will clear for Ferntree Gully, who lead at this stage by 19 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Rawlings takes the mark across the half-back line. Just waiting for numbers to come up. Spots up Atkinson in the middle of the ground. He can take off if he wants to. Goodlet now stands the mark. Atkinson kicks towards Callanan. It's a good pass. Takes the mark. They've moved further up about 20 metres, kicking to the middle of the ground. That was a good one too. Rawlings ran on with it, took the ball and then thumped it to the top of the goal square. But at last line of defence, Cornish stands tall and takes a good mark. Short options on, goes to Bissell's. Deep in the back pocket for Silvan. I want to get this ball out of the danger zone. It looks like a sea of blue and white down there. And why wouldn't it be? Because both sides wear blue and white. So the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds right in front of us here on the members' side.
Boundary.
It's been a free kick actually awarded to the Ferntree Gully Eagles Football Club. So it'll be Callanan. Short passes on, goes inside forward 50. Who's going to be at the fall of the goal? Goodlet was gang tackled, got a handball away. Kick was scrambled up towards the forward pocket for Ferntree Gully. Coming in there, 32. Who do we say that was?
Kanata, Adrian
Kanata, that's right. So Kanata earned a free kick. Got down low, he's got Tui short if he wants him. Sean Tui, just outside the defensive 50. Wants to switch the play.
Boundary.
Does so now. So the ball's in the back pocket. That's Dan Tui. That was a beautiful pass too. Spotted up a teammate on the wing. Sean Tui made space into the middle of the ground, sold the dummy, then charged through and had a bounce. This is good play for Silvan. Direct football, kick up towards the half-forward line. Who's going to be there? It was a 3-on-1 situation. The one's going to win out. What a great handball there. That was by Kazapi. Gets it to Litchfield, and he should put this one through, and he squeezes it home too. So Silvan have got 2 in a row.
Boundary.
And that is the second goal in the third term, and they're coming back to the Silvan Cats. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, the margin is reduced to 11 points. As we cross down boundary side, we've heard you to Daniel Sensic, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Thank you very much, BWS. Number 32 for Silvan is Tesseriro. He actually was wearing the number 53, but he's changed up to 32.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s a 5-2 in favour of Ferntree Gully. Silvan taking both their chances.
Boundary.
Ferntree Gully being wasteful. They've already conceded 5 intercept marks.
Yeah, look, that was a lot better by Silvan then. But look, the start of this quarter, they've been under so much pressure in their back line that they've been crisscrossing the ball and not really getting a lot of distance. Whereas that time they moved the ball forward, they moved it quickly, and they got the result in a goal.
Back in the middle. We'll cross boundary side once again shortly as Litchfield, who kicked that last goal, takes possession, shovels out a handball. Gets it back now, Litchfield. He's had a big third quarter. Found Goodlet. Goodlet's kick around the corner, but nice mark taken defensively there by Hammond for Ferntree Gully.
He attacked that well, Hammond.
Yeah, and he read it very nicely. It was a good one-grab mark. Didn't fumble, which was critical in that situation. Finds Rawlings, the veteran, longest-serving Ferntree Gully player of their current group. Got it out to Henry. Henry's kick to the wing position. Top was the target. The Eagles had a 2-on-1 advantage. Little toe poke by Top. Got it to Harrop. Sean Tui on hands and knees. Gave it out to Litchfield. Hard up against the boundary line. Short pass was by Bissell's. Looking for Pereira. Did well there, Pereira. Hunted down a footy, was attacked. Crunched by Rawlings. Didn't appreciate the attention. Henry's kick forward for Ferntree Gully was a good one. Hager on a long lead. And a Paul Hager to go back and line up for goal number 4 as we cross through our Akira Urgent Care Boundary Riders.
Thanks, Brad. A couple of minutes ago, Philip Lawson came off for Ferntree Gully, bleeding nose fairly profusely, and he's still in the hands of trainers trying to get it to stop bleeding.
Thanks, Braden, as Top goes short to Hammond. And they just passed it around there nicely, Ferntree Gully, hitting their targets.
He's come all the way up from the back line.
That's right, he was involved at the start of this passage, wasn't he, just about a minute or so ago. And he thought about giving the little handball off there to Top, who was cruising past, decided against it. Gets a bit of momentum up, Josh Hammond, lines up the goals, and that's how you do it. Give yourself a chance by getting plenty of weight going forward. It was touched on the line, as a matter of fact, and a minor score there for Josh Hammond. Gee, the goal umpire had a sense of humour.
Giannopoulos, actually, Brad.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was with you.
He gave the handball off to Giannopoulos, did he? Started off with Hammond. So minor score there, but it was looked like a goal, but it was touched right on the line.
So Silvan clear ball, goes to the half-back line now. Mark Cullen's in there. He's going to go over the boundary line with it. So 55 metres out from the Ferntree Gully goals as we go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
Plenty of scores throughout half-time, but just updating, Ace Ziggy Orwin has apparently been stretchered off at Noble Park. Might have done his shoulder, and Warrandyte's hit the front against Ringwood by 4 points.
Short passes on to Litchfield on centre wing. He'll want to go with it. He doubles back and then kicks it towards the centre square. Luxor Fortune, it went over the back of the pack. They're going to have their numbers. That was okay there by Bolpetty to get the handball around there, linking. The ball goes deep inside the forward line. Can Ashford make position A? He can't. The ball holds up. Coming in his straw hair. Gets the handball off. Snap around the body by Kazapi. He gets pushed as he kicked it. He didn't receive a free kick for it. It went out of bounds on the full. So fast bit of movement there by the Silvan side, Ray.
Yeah, look, that's what they got to do. If they've got to get back into this game, they've got to move the ball quickly and look for targets.
So Hammond has the ball in the back pocket. Goes short. Last line of defence. Ferntree Gully looking to get it out of the danger zone. They've got players running wide. Muscat was the target. He's got Cullen in there in support. Over the back of the pack, the ball goes, and we'll have a boundary throw in. We'll go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth with his mic on.
In Division 1, BWS Eastfield by 30 points over Croydon. Scoresby by 41 over Lilydale. Baldwin by 59 against South Croydon. Blackburn by 20 over East Ringwood. And Noble Park by 34 over Knox. And Norwood by 2 over Vermont.
The kick was scrambled up towards centre wing, up towards the Ferntree Gully half forward line. Charging through was Trent Arup. Gave it a little bit of a don't argue. Then thumped the ball inside forward. 50 looking for Pearce. Over the back of the pack. He's a clever player. Gets down, gets up, scooped it out. This could be a third goal for Jamie Lovett. Bangs it on the boot. That's a super goal. And Ferntree Gully answer just in the nick of time. That's his third. He kicked 2 in the second quarter and now 1 in the third. And geez, we got a little bit excited there, or I did, Ray. But Ferntree Gully, that was great movement of the footy.
Yeah, look, that was great. Very strong play by Trent Harrop, running through the midfield there. He's put his opponent off the contest and kicked the ball forward, and a very good goal there to the Gully.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Handballs at 18-6 in favour of Silvans. Perhaps they've overdone it a bit this quarter though.
In Division 2, Bayswater by 44 points over Doncaster. Montrose by 45 over Donvale. Mulgrove have hit the lead against Doncaster East by 6 points. Roeville by 53 over the Waverley Blues. And Mooroolbark not doing it easy, 8 points over Upper Ferntree Gully.
19 points is the deficit here at Ferntree Gully Reserve. As 9-5-59, Ferntree Gully leading Silvan 6-4-40 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone about 14 minutes in the third quarter. So a real critical stage now of this game, of this pivotal match between these two sides, as Callanan was tackled, tried to get his handball clear. Massive pack of players around the footy. Giannopoulos shot it out. High kick was by Leary, and the boundary line is found. So throw-in to take place, broadcast side.
Just quickly, Brad, the Heathmont side get the first 6 goals of the game, all to Darren Sheen. Now the Glen Waverley Hawks lead by 1 point in the third quarter.
Exciting stuff there at Capital Reserve as another ball up to take place. It's a 19-point lead here. High toss up. Atkinson for Ferntree Gully competing in the ruck. Pereira, who's shown some good footwork at different stages today, got it to Tui. On to Ennis. Cullen was all wrapped up, and Leary did that well. Judged the, just read the play nicely then, Dean Leary. And we're clear for the Eagles. Weighs up his options. Surveys the scene further afield. Beautiful. Well, look, it was a kick that looked beautiful off the boot, but it was straight onto the chest of Dave Bissels, who got it onto Goodlett. Lovely kick by Goodlett to Froud on a long lead. And a couple of the senior players, the veterans, the more experienced players combining there for Silvan with the big ruckman Dave Bissels and Chris Goodlett, and finally Ash Froud getting involved.
He had options then too, short, but Ash Froud, he took the mark. He didn't want a bar of it because he's pretty confident in this one.
Well, similar distance, I guess, to where he had that shot at the end of the second quarter. This is a much better kick off the boot. That's more like it. Makes it look easy this time. And 3 goals now for Ash Froud. He didn't go the barrel this time. He went with a conventional drop punt. And as I said, he made it look pretty simple. And that was a much-needed goal for Silvan. They're 7-4-46. Ferntree Gully Eagles are 9-5-59. It's back to 13 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Ray.
Yeah, look, that, as you said, the veterans stood up then, and the difference with that move forward was that everyone that moved the ball forward, they looked for an option rather than just bombing the ball down to a contest.
The ball's back in the middle of the ground. It'll be Newell versus Atkinson. Free kick's been paid, or we're going to actually have to do it again. So the ball to be thrown aloft by the umpire. Newell got that one, Soupy, came down. Ferntree Gully are going to get the clearance, so the kick goes inside 50 or thereabouts, and now it becomes a foot race on. Who's going to be the first to meet it? It's Pereira. He's got to paddle it to his own advantage. He's got plenty of players right on his hammer, but he just worked it nicely towards the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 55 metres out from goal. It's down Ferntree Gully's end. It's a 13-point margin here. Close game, Division 4 match of the day. The home side lead it after starting very slow. Last 2 quarters have been absolutely super. Newell got the knockdown, went straight towards Aitken. Got it to the top of the goal square, got it to Pearce, who looked like he had a lot more time than he actually did, and his kick was put under a lot of pressure, and it went to the top of the goal square and marked at the last line of defence. The ball goes out towards the straw hair direction. He got one in the back, and he's going to get a free kick. So Strawhair just taking his time getting up. The umpire is the one that has to feed him the ball in the end. So he goes out wide. They've got players through the middle if they want to switch the ball back. Short options on. Ball spoiled. The umpire comes in now and bounces. So out of side of the ground, we've gone 17.5 minutes in this third term. It's a 13-point lead. The umpire to restart it. No one went up in that contest. Who's going to be at the fall of the ball? I said, no, I'll do it again. Want you boys to clear it, so we'll have another bounce.
Just quickly, BWS, North Ringwood by 19 points over Templestowe. Wanturna South by 21 over Baronia. Ringwood by 14 over Warrandyte. Mitcham by 25 over Churnside Park. Heathmont by 5 over the Glen Waverley Hawks. And in the relegation battle, it's the Whitehorse Pioneers by 8 points over Coldstream.
Oh, some close games as you go local for your footy this afternoon. It's Silvan who wins the free kick, and they're going to go through the middle of the ground. That kick was okay. It found Cornish. He wants to take off. He does so now. The kick wasn't too crash hot. Kick up towards the half-forward line. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Who's going to run out here? It looks like it might be Kazapi, but now it's a 3-on-1. Good play there. Harrop's got the ball close to the boundary line. His handball was a little bit sloppy. Put his teammate in Leary under a lot of pressure, but he was up to the task. Doubled back and then went on the left boot. Kicked it up towards the half-forward line, but filling the hole. Pereira takes the mark and he's going to take off. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. They've got space now. Strawhair. He should have gone on with it. He's got Newell running beside him if he wants to fend off the handball. He doesn't want to. He goes to Tui instead. He can probably take off Tui. Does so now. Tui of the Sean variety goes deep inside forward 50 or more or less to the forward 50. And coming out and taking a good mark is Ash Froud. So we've seen him kick this distance a couple of times now. It has been on the other side of the ground. He had a ping from here earlier on in the day and missed it. So let's see if Ash Froud can put through his 4th goal. And Well, this will really reduce the margin back to within a kick almost.
Hard shot from here, BWS.
You don't fancy him.
Time.
Ash Frowdy is a star. He comes in and he kicks the ball out of bounds on the full. So the accurate run was completely that. As we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care, we've got an injury update, Dan.
Yeah, Jared Rogers coming from the field there. In that contest, he bent his ankle backwards and he couldn't put any weight on it for the first couple of times that he tried to stand up.
Thank you, Daniel Sensic, working well with Braden down boundary side today. The Brollies are away. I think Braden threw his one out after I gave him a bit of stick for it last week, but the kick goes out towards the half-back line. Newell was the early flyer at the back of the pack. Litchfield down on hands and knees, got it out. Blatanic was in there. Gave away a free kick though, so Silvan about 70 metres out from goal. Bryce Litchfield asking the boys to clear it out. Wants to spot the Froud direction. It's about 65 metres out, goes towards the pocket. The kick has to be centimetre perfect, and it was almost out of bounds on the full. It was marked by Sean Toohey. He tried to fool the umpire, keeping it in. The umpire did not want a bar of it. 2 goals the difference here. Bendigo Bank, a scoreboard. Almost time on here in the third term, Brad.
Lockhart it is who takes the resulting free kick for Ferntree Gully. Kick to a big pack of players. Giannopoulos gave it to Lovett of the Jamie variety. This is Newell. Dished off a handball to Pereira. Low underground kick there by Pereira. Found a teammate. Got it on to Pereira. This is promising. He got it from Strawhair. The kick by Brent